Most leadership damage does not happen slowly. It happens in seconds. A comment, a disagreement, a correction, a tone, a look across the table. Emotion rises, and in that moment, your future influence is decided. The difference between a respected leader and a declining one is often measured in seconds. Today, we are going to master those seconds. Because emotional control is not accidental, it is trained. And once trained, it becomes your competitive advantage. Let us begin with something uncomfortable. You believe you are in control, but neuroscience tells us something different. When you are triggered, your brain activates survival circuitry. Your nervous system prepares to fight, defend, withdraw, or dominate. Blood shifts, heart rate increases, muscles tighten, breathing shortens. And all of this happens before you consciously decide anything. This is why intelligent leaders still react impulsively, because emotion moves faster than logic. But here is the key insight. Emotion is fast, reaction is optional. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space, leadership lives. The problem is not emotion. Emotion is information. The problem is unconscious reaction. Let me show you the full chain again. Trigger, interpretation, emotion, impulse, behavior, outcome. Most leaders become aware at behavior. Elite leaders become aware at interpretation. That is the difference. If you change the interpretation, you change the emotion. If you regulate the emotion, you protect the outcome. Now let us define what I call the 6-second reset. When emotion spikes, there is approximately a brief window where intensity peaks before declining. If you pause during that surge, you regain control of your response. The 6-second reset consists of 4 deliberate steps. Pause, breathe, observe, choose. Pause, do not speak immediately. Breathe, slow the physiological surge. Observe, name the emotion internally. Choose, respond intentionally. This sequence may feel simple, but under pressure, it separates mature leaders from reactive ones. Let us make this practical. Imagine you're in a boardroom. A colleague challenges your proposal publicly. You feel heat in your chest, your jaw tightens, your thoughts accelerate. Without regulation, you interrupt defensively. With regulation, you pause. You breathe once slowly. You observe internally. I feel challenged. I feel slightly threatened. Then you choose a measured response. Thank you. Let's examine that concern carefully. The external situation remains the same, but your internal management changes the outcome, and that changes your reputation. Emotional control does not remove authority, it strengthens it. There is a misconception that calm leaders appear weak. In reality, calm leaders appear powerful because control communicates stability. Stability communicates confidence. Confidence builds trust. Trust multiplies influence. Let us now address criticism. Criticism is one of the greatest emotional tests for leaders. When criticized, your identity feels exposed. Your competence feels questioned. Your ego feels threatened. The immature response is defense. The disciplined response is curiosity. Instead of asking, "How do I protect myself?" ask, "What can I learn here?" This single shift transforms your growth trajectory. Leaders who cannot tolerate correction eventually plateau. Leaders who regulate defensiveness continue to evolve. Now let us talk about emotional endurance. Regulation is not only about isolated moments, it's about sustained composure. In high-pressure environments, you may experience repeated triggers: fatigue, deadlines, personnel issues, public scrutiny. Without emotional endurance, small irritations become disproportionate reactions. This is why recovery practices matter. Leaders who regulate well, sleep adequately, reflect regularly, exercise discipline, limit impulsive communication, avoid reactive digital responses. Emotional discipline is not only in the moment, it's in daily structure. Another critical area is public composure. Private frustration may be manageable. Public emotional instability is costly. Your tone, your facial expression, your posture, your pacing, these communicate more than your words. Executive presence is emotional regulation made visible. A stable tone under pressure signals control. Measured speech signals thoughtfulness. Silence signals strength. Leaders who fill silence impulsively often reveal insecurity. Leaders who tolerate silence project authority. Let us address anger. Anger itself is not failure. Unregulated anger is. Anger often signals boundary violation, perceived injustice, unmet expectations. Instead of suppressing anger, analyze it. What expectation was violated? Was that expectation communicated? Is this truly disrespect or misinterpretation? When anger becomes data instead of impulse, it becomes useful. When anger becomes behavior, it becomes destructive. Now consider disappointment. Leaders frequently experience disappointment in others. Team members underperform, plans collapse, deadlines slip. Emotional immaturity personalizes disappointment. Emotional maturity contextualizes it. Instead of, "they're letting me down," shift to, "what system failed?" This reduces emotional escalation and increases strategic thinking. Let us now examine power. The more authority you carry, the more emotional discipline is required. Power amplifies reaction. A small emotional shift in you feels large to others. Your frustration feels heavier. Your silence feels colder. Your sarcasm feels sharper. High-level leaders must regulate not only for themselves, but for the emotional climate they create. Your nervous system becomes the tone setter. If you are volatile, the environment becomes tense. If you are stable, the environment becomes calm. Now let's go deeper. Emotional control is not suppression. Suppression stores tension. Regulation processes it. After a difficult meeting, don't pretend nothing happened. Reflect. Ask, what did I feel? Why? What belief was activated? Was it accurate? This reflection prevents accumulation. Unprocessed emotion leaks later, often at the wrong moment. Now let us connect this to long-term credibility. Credibility is built slowly, destroyed quickly, and emotional instability is one of the fastest destroyers of credibility. You may recover from a bad decision. You may recover from a failed strategy. It is harder to recover from repeated emotional volatility. People forgive mistakes. They hesitate to trust instability. Let us discuss respect. Many leaders chase respect through dominance, but long-term respect is earned through stability. When people know you won't explode, they relax. When people know you will listen, they speak honestly. When people know you will regulate, they trust your judgment. Regulation is strength, not weakness. Now I want you to consider something deeply personal. What situation consistently triggers you? Is it public disagreement? Is it slow performance? Is it perceived disrespect? Is it being ignored? Write it down mentally. Now ask, why does this affect me so strongly? That answer reveals your emotional growth edge. Every leader has one. Growth begins where discomfort begins. Let us conclude with the identity of an anchored leader. An anchored leader is slow to react, is quick to reflect, is stable under praise, is stable under criticism, is measured in speech, is disciplined in tone, is deliberate in response. They are not emotionally cold, They are emotionally trained, and training creates reliability. Reliability creates influence. Influence creates legacy. Emotional intelligence is not a personality trait, it's a disciplined practice, and the 6-second reset is the gateway to mastery. The next time you feel emotion rising, remember, pause, breathe, observe, choose. Your future credibility lives in that space. In the next episode, we will explore how emotional regulation shapes organizational culture and why leaders unknowingly train their teams to mirror their emotional patterns. If you are serious about high-performance leadership, don't skip that conversation. Master your inner world, and your leadership will rise accordingly.